Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. The Yerushalmi in Masechta Nedarim and the Mechilta and Parshas Shmois list many things, I shouldn't say many, few things that the Torah says, and we apply the rule that two commandments were said b'dibur echad. Simultaneously, two commandments were said. There is the famous one that we all know, Zachar Yom HaShabbos L'Kachay, and Shomer Yom HaShabbos L'Kachay. In Parshas V'Eschanan, over there it says the Aseres HaDibros, as it recounts the Aseres HaDibros, it says Zachar Yom HaShabbos L'Kachay. Remember to sanctify the day of Shabbos. In the Parshas Yisroi, over there it says it's accounting the same event, what took place, and over there it says Shomer Yom HaShabbos L'Kachay. Guard the day of Shabbos. So the question is obvious: which one was said? And Chazal tell us b'dibur echad namru. They were both said simultaneous. Now Chazal say that not only Shomer and Zachar was said simultaneous, but concerning Shabbos, it says mechaleleh mois yumas, that one who desecrates Shabbos, God forbid, gets punished. At the same, and from the other hand, we find the pasuk uveyoyim haShabbos shnei chavasim, that on the day of Shabbos they did bring sacrifices. Certain sacrifices were brought in Beis Hamikdash. So isn't that a desecrating part of the process of the carbon? Would desecrate some of the malachas that are prohibited in Shabbos. So Chazal say these two were also said b'dibur echad. From one hand, mechaleh mois yumas, one who desecrates Shabbos gets punished. At the same time, we heard that if you're doing karbanis in the Beis Hamikdash, it's allowed. So just like Zachar v'Shomer, Shomer v'Zachar, mechaleleh mois yumas, and uvayom haShabbos shnei chavasim were said together. Or another example, the Torah says lesilbash shatnez, you're not allowed to wear shatnez. Gedilim ta'aselecha. Gedilim ta'aselecha is the mitzvah of tzitzis. Sometimes the mitzvah of tzitzis is allowed to have shatnez. Is allowed to have these opposite materials. Why? It seems to contradict. You say no and then you say yeah. It's not I said first no and then yeah. These were said simultaneous as an exemption. Usually you're not allowed to have shatnez, but simultaneous, I heard the exemption, tzitzis you were allowed to have. Another example is ervas eisha sechicha, that you're not allowed to marry your sister-in-law. A minute later it says yavama yavayala. If your brother passed away childless, you have to marry her. How? It seems to contradict. So the answer is they were both said simultaneous. And the Mefarshim explained, because these examples, we have contradicting points, it must be that the only way it fits is because they were both said simultaneous. But the most famous one is what we say, Shamar v'Zachar b'dibur echad, that the mitzvah, the commandment of guarding Shabbos, and the commandment of remembering Shabbos, as one is mentioned in Parshas V'Eschanan and one is mentioned in Parshas Yisroi, they were said together. Shomer is the loisesed, the negative commandments. The negative commandments means what not to do on Shabbos. Guard yourself not to do so. Zachar is the positive things, what to remember to do Shabbos. Now, because they were said together, simultaneous, that's the only reason we know that women are obligated in the mitzvahs of Shabbos, and in the positive mitzvahs of Shabbos. Usually, a mitzvah saseh, which is time-bound, like Shabbos is only once every 7 days, women should have been exempt, because a mitzvah saseh shaz mangramba, nashim aperturos. Why are women mechuyev in Kiddush? Because women are only exempt from positive mitzvahs that are time-bound. Mitzvah saseh shazman garama only aseh. No Jewish woman is allowed to transgress any loisasa, any transgression, even if it happens from time to time, because loisasa they're not allowed to break. It's only a aseh which is time-bound. They're not obligated. Here in Shabbos, because they were both said simultaneous, so Chazal tell us a very important lesson. Kol sheyeshne b'shmira, yeshne b'schira. That they work together. Whoever is obligated in protecting and guarding Shabbos, whoever is obligated in the loisesa of Shabbos, is also obligated in the essays of Shabbos. So therefore, a woman is mechuyev in kiddush just like a man because they work together. The Shach writes, the Shach al Torah writes, why is it that specifically in Parshas V'aschanon, in Parshas Yisroi, the Aseres, the difference in Parshas Yisroi, over there it says Shomer Asher Shabbos L'Kache. In Parshas V'aschanon, over there it's the one that's written Zocher. Why in that order? And the Shach al Torah writes, because the Shomer in Parshas Yisroi is the way Hashem said it to us. We know that the whole Chumash Devarim is how a Moshe Rabbeinu repeats everything that was mentioned earlier, all the mitzvahs again, before he's passing away, he repeats them to Klal Yisrael. The last years of his life, last time of his life. But the first four Chumashim is as how it came from the Pia Gvura. So Hashem saying, keep Shabbos, it really wouldn't make sense for him to say Zocher Asher Shabbos L'Kache, remembering Shabbos, because Hashem is such a metzias that there is no shikha, there's no forgetting by Hashem. There's no concept of forgetting. So for him, in that level, the right way to describe it, or the best way to describe the mitzvah of Shabbos is shomer. Stay away from bad. Stay away from, these things should not be done. Remembering, who forgets? Up there, who forgets? However, Moshe Rabbeinu repeating it to Klal Yisrael, where he's talking to us humans, and him as a human talking to us, he's telling it to us at our levels. He says, hey, we are mortal people, we are simple people, we forget things, so we have the mitzvah of Zocher. The $1 million question is, if in Parshas Yisroi it says Shomer Yisrael Shabbos L'Kache, that came first, and then Parshas V'aschanan says Zocher, why in L'chadoidi we have the famous phrase, the famous statement, Shomer v'Zocher b'dibur echad, that Shomer and Zocher were said simultaneous. Why doesn't it say Zocher v'Shomer? Zocher came first. So some answer that because the author of the L'chadoidi was Reb Shlomo bar Moshe Halevi Alkavitz, Reb Shlomo Alkavitz, he's the author of L'chadoidi. He wanted to hint his name in the poem of L'chadoidi. So Shomer starts the shin. His name was Shlomo. The next one is Likra Shabbos was the Lamed. Mikdash Melech was the Mem. Hey Hisnari was the Hey. That's Shlomo. But the Sefer Baruch She'amar says that can't be the reason why he would change the order how it's mentioned in the Chumash just to fit in his name. There's better ways to do it. He could have said Shabbos Zocher v'Shomer b'dibur. He could have added the word Shabbos first, and there would be the shin. To swap it around, not as it's written in a different order as it's written in the Torah, to get his name in there doesn't really make sense. And there's another opinion that says that could be he insisted to write it this way. He insisted to write it this way, so you should know that even though when you learn in Chumash, you see that Zocher was written first and then Shomer. You see that Shomer was written first and then Zocher. But because Chazal tell us that there will be Dibur Echad, he insists to swap it around, so you should know it's B'Dibur Echad. It wasn't one first and one second. They were both simultaneous. And in halachic, anybody who is obligated to fulfill the Shmira, which is all the Leises of his Shabbos, is also obligated to fulfill the essays, the Zocher Siyam Shabbos.